Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Angel Storm. I'm the founder of AshesToBeautyMinistries.org, and today I'm back with another segment of Be Your Own Life Coach. Today I want to give you 7 lies that we come into agreement with to keep us from forgiving other people. Unforgiveness is one of the biggest issues in terms of an unhealthy spirit, an unhealthy soul, and an unhealthy body. And if you can learn to forgive, you're going to see exponential growth in all of these areas. Your life is going to become so fruitful. So I want to give you these 7 common lies that we come into agreement with and we reason ourselves out of forgiving somebody. So lie number 1 is that you believe forgiveness would be doing the person who wronged you a favor. And that's not true at all. It's actually something that you do for yourself, which I know everybody says. But just to kind of give you an insight into it, unforgiveness will absolutely change the way that you view the world, that you view other people, the way that you or do not enter into relationships of any kind, whether you take a job, whether you take a risk. All of those things are going to be impacted by the bitterness that you hold in your heart. And so that's why it's truly something that you do for you. It's so that you can keep your perspective on the world in healthy alignment. Lie number 2 is kind of similar to lie number 1, which is that forgiveness is all about the person who did you wrong, when that's not true either. A lot of times there's things that we need to forgive our own selves for, and so forgiveness for our own selves is something that hinders a lot of people from living their best blessed life. They believe that they cannot forgive themselves for this huge mistake because it's unredeemable. But the truth is there's no such scenario, and forgiveness is actually going to help you be able to step into the redemptive time that you are seeking. Lie number 3 has to do with believing that you're a good person if you do them this favor or if you do this, but in reality you don't want to forgive because you're using that mistake that the person did to lure it over their head, and so you ask them to do extra favors and nothing that they ever do is good enough. And so for you, it's actually self-serving because you don't get to forgive and they never get to redeem themselves for that mistake. And so you actually become the person that you don't want to forgive when you do this because you are turning into them. Your behaviors are mirroring theirs. Lie number 4 is that you need to heal before you can forgive. You need to work through all of your own issues, the hurts that you've suffered at the hands of somebody who did you wrong, and once you're healed, maybe you'll think about forgiving. But the truth is that forgiveness will actually facilitate your healing. So the quicker you can forgive, the quicker you can heal, and the quicker you can move on with your life. Lie number 5 is that you're using your feelings as your convictions. In other words, you're saying, I'm convicted about this and I cannot forgive him. You're giving, internal moral principles as the reason why you're not forgiving, when really it should be the other way around. Your convictions should determine your feelings. Your feelings cannot run your life, or you're going to have such a mess of a life. So stop using this excuse and take a real hard look at why you don't want to forgive. Lie number 6 is that you need to understand what happened to you before you can forgive the person. Once you understand their reasoning and you understand their thought process, then you can come to some sort of closure and then you can forgive them and move on. But the truth is that sometimes none of the things that have happened to you are going to make sense in your brain, and so you need to give up the quest for trying to make sense of it. What you can do is take the lessons that you've learned from those experiences and definitely apply the wisdom from them to your life so that you're moving forward wiser, stronger, and better equipped to handle your future. But sometimes there's not going to be any rational explanation, and even if one was given to you, it probably wouldn't suit your standard, meaning that excuse, that reason, that justification for why you suffered that way, it probably isn't going to make much sense anyway. If you were given that reason, it's not going to be a strong enough argument for you. So give up the quest for looking for reasons and closure, and find closure within yourself to be able to forgive and move on. Lie number 7 is that if you forgive them, you have to stay with them, you have to trust them, you have to have a relationship with them. This is absolutely a lie. Forgiveness, trust, relationship, interaction, those are all separate terms. They all have their own separate definitions. They do not go together. And so it is possible to forgive somebody and to trust them again. It is possible to forgive somebody and have a relationship with them again. But that is not exclusive. The two are not mutually exclusive, like one goes with the other. And so it's important to recognize the fact that you can forgive, you can find closure within yourself and move on apart from the person who hurt you and just be fine with that. That's still forgiveness. I hope this video has helped you not only understand some common lies about why we stay in unforgiveness, but also has given you the motivation and the correct understanding that you need in order to forgive and move forward in your own life. And again, I'm Dr. Angel Storm, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel below.